right, well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brandon Burris. I am the Director of Louisiana State Parks. What a blessing to be here with y'all on a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. Rain is a blessing, like my grandfather always used to say, rain is a blessing. So glad to see it for a little while. But glad to be here on this great occasion to be able to talk about this land water conservation grant. Our agency, Louisiana State Parks, is the state administrator of this program. Our federal partner is the Department of Interior, specifically the U.S. National Park Service. And what a great opportunity land water conservation funds are to partner with great municipalities like this to be able to increase recreational opportunities in the state for Louisiana. That's our mission of Louisiana State Parks, and I know the mission of a lot of these local municipalities, and also great to do it numerous times with the great parish here. And so we're glad to be very active in land water conservation funds, and here to talk a little bit more about the project is our Councilwoman, Ms. Van Vrancken, please.
You can have really great ideas, but unless you have the money to build it so that they will come, it doesn't get off the ground. And so Land and Water Conservation Fund has been a partner that has really started to bring our dreams, our visions to life. And so we are super excited to be here today because in typical fashion, some of those things we originally envisioned after a world pandemic started to inflate in price. And we had to look to our partners again to say, you know, we still really would love to bring all of these things to life. A children's play area, the kayak and canoe launch and the paddle canal, the bird's nest pavilion, the signage at the roadway, all of those things that we wanted to do. And that takes more funding, more effort of partners. And so we're really thrilled to have those partners with us supporting our efforts yet again. And I want to make sure, first and foremost, we recognize our Lieutenant Governor, because land and water conservation, when we reached out and when we said we really, need your assistance again to keep doing what we envisioned, they said yes. And we're so appreciative of the Office of State Parks. So, Lieutenant Governor, I know you have worked really hard across the state to bring the grant funds that bring great outdoor recreation to life. And so I want to make sure you have the opportunity to talk about what you're doing across the state.
Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you for being so persistent to make sure this funding continues for an incredible project. You know, after COVID, we realized, we look out at what's trending in America and the world. And people bought RVs, bikes, canoes. They're going to see the great outdoors of America. And surely this project, not only the quality of life for the residents of Jefferson Parish to enjoy, but also as people look to travel, they look for those bike paths. They look for canoe launches. They look for the recreational space. And we're seeing more and more people in groups of 10 and 20 and 30 traveling the country and the world doing outdoor stuff. And projects like this are so important, like I'll say it again, not only to the residents, but to attracting tourists and improving the quality of life. And since we've partnered, started the private-public partnership at our state parks, we are going to see a day, one, when we won't need tax dollars to run our state parks, but they will generate millions of dollars. And that money can be used for culture, recreation, tourism. So using our state parks with the private-public partnership, we're going to be able to give out grants for a long time to municipalities for projects like this or to expand them for many years to come. All we did was copy what some of the other states do with their state parks that generate millions of dollars to put in bike paths, canoe launches, ball fields, all the great things that we always seem to get on the bottom of the list when we have so much needs in the state. But using that state park private-public partnership will really give us an opportunity to change the game of recreation in Louisiana. So once again, I want to thank all the partners. I also want to thank the Coast Guard for allowing us to come in out of the weather, the men and women of the Coast Guard, and use this building. Give them a hand. And Jennifer, once again, the parish president's not here. I want to thank her for her continued support and, of course, for you championing this incredible project. So thank you.
Thank you.
I've been state park director now for 6 years, and in 6 years of land water conservation funds, I've only had one council person ever come knock on my door and say, how do we do this? And that was you. And so we're very appreciative of it. But just as important as those local partners are, we got to have champions at the State House, or the state capitol. And Representative Hilferty is definitely one of those for our state park system and all culture, recreation, and tourism. So I'd like to invite her up to say something at this point.
Thank you so much. So appreciative to be here. So appreciative of the work that the Lieutenant Governor's office has done. Lieutenant Nungesser has been a champion of this project through and through. And really the leader in guiding this project through has been Councilwoman Van Vrancken. We have sat together numerous times to envision what occurs in Bucktown, and the vision that is there from a recreational standpoint. I gotta admit, I'm a fan of the playgrounds. I got a bunch of little ones around. We love a good playground. I've offered some of my unsolicited advice on that and opinions. But that this will be a place where families can go and enjoy, and specifically those families that live along the lakefront. This is gonna be a really beautiful place for people to go on evenings, on the weekends, so on and so forth. I have been really lucky to advocate for these projects at the state level and receive state funding for these projects as they move through the capital outlay process. So this has really been a collective team effort, really led and guided at the council district level by Councilwoman Van Vrancken, championed by Lieutenant Governor Nungesser, and then supported by our legislature. So thank you everyone for being here. Again, thank you to the Coast Guard. I didn't wear my rain boots like Councilwoman Van Vrancken, so she was ready. But for giving us a dry, really nice place to meet. So I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you.
To conclude the presentation, I'd like to invite the councilwoman back up to say one more announcement, and then after that, we'll step in front and hand the check out. And so, councilwoman.
The check is big enough that we'll need assistance holding it, so that's when it's a good amount. I just want to make sure to say some additional thank yous because we've had so many partners on this. Looking out into this audience, Rusty Goday with Sea Grants has been phenomenal since the start. I appreciate Violet Peters with the Jefferson Convention and Visitors Bureau, because when we got our very first project out of the ground here, our boardwalk, that 1,000 linear feet along the lake and the marsh, you put it on the cover, you really started to promote it. People started to say, where is that? And they started coming over the levee. And so when we look at not only, as we've all kind of hit on, not only is this an extended backyard for our locals to enjoy and for us to attract new young residents and families to Jefferson, but it's ecotourism. And so having the Lake Pontchartrain lakefront as a destination for people to enjoy is part of what we look forward to continuing to work with you and the Jefferson Convention and Visitors Bureau to make happen. And so that's a big part of this. Mario Bazile and Leo Webb with our recreation department. This has been tremendous. Certainly my staff, Lauren and Jeff, you all have been tremendous. Couldn't have done it without you. Joey Furr, I can think of an idea. Joey's actually the one who, it is his brain that makes this makes this come to fruition. And I'll give you an example. When I said we need some signage at the roadway so that people know at the road there's something over the levee. You don't just get a plain sign that says Bucktown Harbor. You get something that, yes, it says Bucktown Harbor, but it has egrets, it has cattails, it has a sun and water and movement to it that really sparks the imagination in addition to announcing a grand entrance to this park. So Joey, thank you for being the landscape architect on this project and really bringing it to life. Again, so many others. Jessica Lant, commander of the Coast Guard here for having us out of the weather today. And actually, they're the closest set of eyeballs on this site every day. And so we hope, we know you've been good partners. We hope we create an environment around you that you and your crew can enjoy as well. they partnered with us, Lieutenant Governor. I don't know if you know, when we fixed the harbor to make it a safer environment, they actually partnered with us to put the markers, the channel markers. So again, y'all have been really just wonderful partners on this project, so thank you so much. Vivid Ink Graphics fabricated that sign that Joey dreamed up. Ecosystem and Coastal Management, again, have been great partners. Southeast Louisiana Flood Authority, Donald getting us through permitting when necessary. And then a few folks I know who have been on our Bucktown Harbor committee and our efforts. Melinda Bourgeois, you've been there since the start. I really appreciate your support. Sharon Hanahan. Again, y'all have been such great partners on this, and we're so appreciative. The last thing that we'll do when you're leaving, because we can't go out and celebrate it in person, but as you're leaving, if you would, take a glance at that signage along the roadway. It was just installed this week. It is phenomenal, and we're very appreciative. So again, thanks to everyone for being here. I think now is the time for the check presentation.